extreme racism at away games. Put up the picture full mass. This story is going to make your blood boil. David Douglas High School, Portland, Oregon, is facing extreme, constant, and blatant racism. It's so extreme that some football players are coming to their coaches in tears. Here's what the assistant coach, Marcel Frazier, wrote, quote, "I've coached and played all around the nation, and also have played or coached internationally. Never have I witnessed this level of racism on the playing field." Let's just pause there for a moment. Let's pause there for a moment. There's been a question about, well, are these things just starting? Or are we being able to document them more? Let me tell you the reality of what's happening. It's both. There's a newness to some of this racism. There's a vigor that wasn't there before. The coach goes into detail about that. There's also the ability to get your message out to the public in ways that we did not have prior. So you have a combination of both. But the coach is clearly saying, out of all of his years of national and international play, he has never experienced this level of vitriol as it relates to racism. There's more. David Douglas football. The football team has completed in 3 years, in 3 years, in three away games against rival high schools in Oregon so far this season. Each game brought a deplorable barrage of racial hate, speech, and behavior. That's according to the coach. He says Black players have been subjected to, and this is similar to other stories, monkey sounds, chants of the N-word, and being called King Kong among other slurs. In the most recent bizarre incident, a cake, yes, a cake, was thrown into an audience of Douglas fans to create chaos during a game against Adrian C. Nelson High School in Happy Valley. Quote, "We had a cake thrown in the stands at players, parents, as well as monkey chants being chanted at a coach," Frazier wrote. "Based on where the cake was thrown, we believe the students were not targeting a specific person or individual, but were trying to create chaos amongst the David Douglas fan base, which is inexcusable," the statement read. During a game against Forest Grove High School on the edge of the Portland metro area, an unidentified man drove up to the team's bus after the game and made ape sounds and gestures before driving off. Local police are currently investigating the incident and working to track down the culprit. The attacks continue. The racist attacks continued at an away game at Rex Putman, an international baccalaureate high school. Frazier recounted to KOIN 6 News how racial slurs brought a player to tears. The game came to a stop as he sought out his coach to report it. Frazier posed a question, quote, "What's going on, man?" In tears, he said to me, quote, "They're calling me the N-word, coach," end quote. After the game was halted, Rex Putman's athletic director was informed of the incident, but no one was pulled from the field. Adrian C. Nelson's principal, Greg Harris, confirmed that a similar incident happened at his school. A David Douglas athlete reported hearing the N-word used on the field. The game was paused, with officials addressing coaches and coaches then addressing players, but the officials were unable to determine where the language originated, Harris told KATU. I want to tell you right now, that's a damn lie. A coach can get whatever kind of information they want to from a player. They really can. If you've ever played organized sports, especially at a high school level, even at a college level, you already know a coach knows how to get the proper information. Because if you don't tell us who did it, every single one of you all will run laps for every single practice until the coach is aware. Everybody will bear the punishment of what this one person would bear if you do not operate as a team that gives a damn about the sanctity of what we're doing. See, it's easy for a coach who has leadership to provide the information needed. the Oregon school. The association, let's put it up. This is the official Oregon School Activities Association, and all 3 high schools have issued lengthy public statements condemning the racism for Coach Frazier. He said that's simply not enough. Quote, if this is the cesspool that the region has become, there's no way I would feel comfortable raising my future children here. It's a shame. Our boys and coaches should be focused on the game without being subjected to racist abuse, he wrote on Instagram. The captain of the Forest Grove football team popped up in the comments apologizing on behalf of his fellow students and players before saying, quote, I'm sorry for not doing a better job. Keep that up for a moment. That's probably the first halfway truth we have heard. The coach said, I'm sorry for not doing a better job. You damn right. Now, with accountability comes remedy. You can't change what you failed to acknowledge. Now that you have acknowledged it, transformation can take place. What will happen next? Because a lengthy apology from official associations, that can't be the answer. That's in the adult world. What do you do to make sure that these children have a fighting chance to be adults later in life who can actually acclimate to the world before them rather than be racist like some of their parents and grandparents were? 69% of the Douglas student body identify as minority. All right, Sharon, hell of a thing. Not the first time we've reported on something like this. Glad the coach is stepping up, stepping out. He's the reason why we know about the story. What say you?
Yeah, you're right. And you, as you went through the details, revealed some lack of leadership, some weakness, some smallness. 1983, another sports reference, Patrick Ewing was perhaps the most dominant player in all of college basketball. And his activist, supportive coach, John Thompson, who fielded an all-black team, pulled the team off the court.
Yep.
When at Villanova, someone happened to throw a banana peel and hold up a sign calling Ewing an ape. That's leadership. We can play the game or we don't have to play the game.
That's
but you're
right.
going to do it my way. Leadership. It stopped.
Yeah, and you make a hell of a reference because it came down to the actions of the leader of the team. And it is so much easier, actually, at that high school level. I've worked as a high school teacher. High school students, especially those in sports, they want to be there.
Yep.
They want to be there and they want to do well and they want to compete. And you have a few individuals that may be there for another agenda. You have to take control of that or that will become the culture of your team if you do not.